Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Gretchen, and today I am here with my third International Booker Longlist review, and today's pick is Lost on Me by Veronica Raimo, and this is translated from the Italian by Leah Janexco. Now, I just want to take a few seconds just to complain to, let's see, who is this? Grove Atlantic, that where is Leah Janexco's name on the cover? I don't see it. I see that you took the time to say that this is a bestseller in Italy. I see that you took the time to say that this was shortlisted for the Strega Prize, but where is Leah's name? I'm sorry, but that is so annoying to me. This is a book that was translated into English. If it had not been translated into English, Grove Atlantic would not be publishing it. So please do better. Do better next time. Put the translator's name on the cover. All right, my rant is over. So let's actually get into the book review. So it's a coming of age story, and it follows our main character. Her name is Vero, and she comes from a very eccentric family. So she has like this genius brother. She has a mother that is seemingly more concerned about her brother's safety and well-being and making sure that he has everything that he needs, and Veronica is kind of just an afterthought. And then she has a dad as well. It's funny because each of the characters brings something to Vero's personality. Like, we can definitely understand where some of her personality characteristics were developed, but it's actually kind of a funny story where we're learning about her coming to terms with all of that dynamic with her family, but also because it is coming of age, we're learning about her discovering herself and her becoming a woman and her having her first sexual experiences and her becoming intellectually the person that she is. She also is really struggling to find her place in life. She has so many strong characters as a part of her life that it seems like she struggles to find that perfect place for her to be in when it comes to the hierarchy of her family. And she is obviously impacted by a lot of those dynamics in how she chooses her friends, the situation she finds herself in, her level of self-esteem, and the men and, lovers that she ends up taking. And it is a very relatable story at times too, especially if you are in a family where you have that brother-sister dynamic where, the mother obviously coddles one more than the other, and how that can impact the child that's kind of left behind and doesn't get that kind of attention, and her mother having a mental illness and her having to deal with that as well. So there is a lot going on in this story, although once again, this is another one that's not super plot driven. It's more just a story about the events and things that have happened in her past, and some of them are hard to read. There are some trigger warnings in here for sexual assault, and there's some icky stuff in here as well with her uncle, and there's a lot going on in this girl's life, and I think that Veronica Raimo did a very good job of portraying that. And I also think that she did it in a way that was humorous and didn't take itself too seriously, which I think is also a detriment to the book as well, because I think that some of the things or events that happened in the book were very traumatic and were very sad, but to me, as I was reading them, they didn't always have probably as much of an impact as they should, because they were overshadowed by the humor and wit of Veronica's, Raimo's writing. And it's kind of like the, you know, the sad clown that uses humor to cover all of those tragedies in their life. And although I can appreciate that as a defense mechanism, whether that's for the author or for the character, I do think that it takes a little bit away from the story when we don't really take the time to process or hash those feelings out. We just, you know, we laugh about them and then we move on. But aside from that, I think this was a really well-structured book. It was a fast-paced book. It wasn't one that I found myself putting down and not wanting to pick back up. This was another 4-star book for me. I think that, so this is my third 4-star in a row. I have yet to be blown away by any of the books from the long list so far. I will have to say that this is probably, although I landed on a 4, I probably maybe would say more of a 3.5. Now that I'm talking it out, now that I'm thinking things through, although I really do appreciate her humor and I appreciated a lot of the things that were going on here, it's also a book that I've read before. I don't think that there are any new, grand, amazing things that she's doing with her writing here. I could read several memoirs and get the same thing out of them. And now that I think about this, I'm wondering if this is like autofiction, because the main characters, it didn't even hit me until now, but the character's name is Vero and the author's name is Veronica. So dummy me, like I probably should have figured that out by now. But yeah, I don't know if maybe that's the case, but if that is, that's very interesting, because there's actually another piece of autofiction on the long list that will be the next book that I review. So yeah, this is turning out to be a very interesting long list so far, in the sense that a lot of these books have overlap. A lot of them are kind of saying the same thing. Who knows? It's definitely not my favorite from the list so far. Yeah, I think I'm definitely talking myself more into a 3.5 now that I think about it, now that I talk it out. And yeah, it was a solid book, but like I said, although I can appreciate what she was doing here, I just don't think that this is anything new. I don't think it's anything unique. Although it talks about a lot of tough, hard-hitting topics, I just don't think it added any nuance to anything. And in the end of the day, this was just an okay read for me. So I am still looking forward to reading some of the other books on this long list. Like I said, I have yet to be blown away. So I'm really hoping that there's at least one book out there that just stands apart for me. But so far, I haven't had that feeling. The first 2 I read were very solid. This one was a little below that. But yeah, I'm still waiting to be wowed. And I should have some other reviews coming out very soon. I'm in the midst of a few, almost done with one other one. And once I can get those reviews filmed and edited, I will have them out. So until we read again, bye.